perhaps maritime could not be an exception on this. If you take all the measures, if you have the certifications, if you store your data in data centers that are certified, if you have the firewalls or you have the updated software versions, then you do whatever you can. The non-professionals need to be concerned, I'm afraid.
And that comes down to awareness as well. Sorry, Frank.
Security problems usually is human error. And of course, from a cluster perspective, a cluster organization perspective, we can provide competence raising measures to bring up the competence level in the cluster companies, because that's one of the things we can do. So when it comes to cybersecurity, for instance, human error or the human factor is of course extremely important, and it's all about competence and raising the competence level with the engineers, with the salespeople, everybody who travels around and connects to a ship or to a device.
Would too much security reduce the opportunities that that are being offered here? Would too much sort of security net systems actually be a damper on some levels of innovation?
Yeah, we just announced yesterday that we have opened a maritime innovation lab in Wilhelmsen, also with partners such as DNV, GL, and Kongsberg, Aker. So we hope that we can nurture and help new startups, but also existing companies starting working with us and try to help us prepare for this new future, whether it's cybersecurity or other types of potential threats. So we welcome also existing players to be part of this and really drive the innovation together with us and shape the maritime industry.
Are we also likely to see, I was having another conversation yesterday about the amount of bandwidth that was going to become available. Is there going to be still a limit? The metaphor that ended up being used was, if you build a road, we as people will soon fill it with cars. You build bandwidth, we'll fill it with data. Are we going to, I mean, we're not expecting the satellite connectivity to be the same sort of speed and opportunities that we see in a connected city. However, what can you say about the sort of the level of connectivity, the speed, bandwidth that we can see in satellite today, and what we might be able to see in 10, 20 years' time, perhaps?
Well, we have to keep up with this game. If I see the latest satellites, the Global Express satellites that we are having, that are providing Fleet Express to the vessels. We have 1,000 vessels now connected to it, and it's ramping up pretty quick. But we also have airplanes where we provide passenger connectivity on the same network. So the networks have to keep up with this. We have the 5th generation satellites now deployed. The 6th generation satellite is already in the production line, and the 7th generation satellites are on the drawing board. So with the increasing speed that is needed, we're also speeding up the constellations of satellites. And in that way, we hope to keep on having pace with the developments. But also on the satellites and on the modem technology, a lot is happening. So even though we are still talking Ka band and L band, the modem technology that we will put on the next satellite is giving you throughputs 3-4 times bigger. So where today, for instance, a maximum throughput could be 100 megabits per second, over the same satellite with the new modem technology, that could be 300 megabits per second 4 years from now. So it's more satellites, but also newer technologies to get more throughput to the same satellites.
So it'll be more, faster, and no doubt we'll still manage to fill it up with data.
You will still fill it up, for sure.
What sort of, Frank, from the manufacturer's perspective here, because on the West Coast there's a lot of focus, as I said, on sort of oil and gas. That's high level investments that were made in terms of the vessels that are utilised there, and I've seen some of the companies that got very sophisticated solutions. Is this increased amount of bandwidth going to give them a lot more opportunities and what they can offer?
Yeah, of course. One of the things coming up now is remote control operations, for instance, and then you need a lot of bandwidth. For instance, there's been testing, for instance, of crane operations, and then you need to have video, for instance, from the operation site back to the headquarters where the operation room is. Of course, this will increase the use of bandwidth, and the more bandwidth we get, the more kind of operations you can do, advanced operations like subsea operations in the oil and gas sector. It's already been done, and we will see a lot of that coming up. And of course, bandwidth is a crucial part of that.
We also see the bandwidth being sort of so reliable that data is now becoming more and more trusted. The conversation about autonomous ships can't go on without that belief that the bandwidth is going to be 100% reliable and provide the level of redundancy that we need within systems. So I see that conversation of the autonomous ship, the remote control ship, sort of emphasising that fact as we move forward. But Inga, from your perspective, when you look at Wilhelmsen or when you look at other ship owners, are they beginning to really grasp what the opportunities are now?
I think this is a topic that is very high on any shipping company's agenda, and we need to drive up the capacity and drive down the cost. It's as simple as that, and we will see that this new networks will offer us more capacity. At the same time, as I said earlier, I think we as infrastructure player in this market, having the vessels, being able to build new type of networks is a very fascinating and interesting idea.
You see a lot more involvement with the cargo owners and across the whole supply chain as a result, a lot more connectivity there.
Well, we see that I think the ultimate future we all want is a more 3D or even 5D world, where we see the being able to operate ships and being able to do that in a safe and efficient way, and being able to support the vessels in an efficient way with vessel operation centers and people onshore that are able to work together with people on board. Because I think that it's going to be people on board for a very long time, whether the ships are autonomous or hybrids.
And also, Ronald, are people beginning to realise that it's not as costly now to have systems? I mean, there was I can remember, I think it was when the third generation in Mossad, and a lot of, maybe before that, there was a lot of focus on voice at that time. It's when you brought in the broadband that you started seeing a lot of take-up on that kind of connectivity, and the voice level. Voice traffic obviously went down as you shifted to the generations.
Voice is merely just an application on an IP network, so that is rapidly going away. But what you see is that ship owners, ship managers are much more now taking a principled decision, where indeed a couple of years ago we were talking about the cost for a vessel. Right now they start to see, like you hear around the table, they start to see that the communication platform is an enabler for cost reduction somewhere else. And in that sense, the discussions are getting much more mature about what you do with your communication. And as a result, I see that fleet managers and owners taking a principled decision for their fleet. They say, yeah, we believe in this, and we will take that decision and we will roll it out over the fleet. That rollout may take 1 or 2 years, but the decision is principled, that they need a platform that gives them the flexibility to do something with their communication, and not just see it as a cost center to make the occasional force call.
It's a bit like what Martin Stopford was saying in the last panel. He was saying that the finance model tended to sort of restrict, because you were looking at things when they broke as a cost, but not the actual value of things on the balance sheets. So if things operating properly, the balance sheet read zero. It's only when it broke it went into the negative. You didn't see the full operating picture in the positive light of what we're doing there. But this is beginning to enable a little bit of that through that increased connectivity. And is that beginning to reflect also, Inga, in terms of the operational side of things? And Mike, is that also beginning what you're going to see when we talk about the Internet of Things as well? Are we going to see that residual value be represented better when we have that high level of connectivity?
We have concluded that the shipping industry doesn't need yet more applications and abstract concepts or more complexity in their daily operations. Shipping industry needs profitability improvement. So basically, profitability increase is about using less resources, improving your efficiency of your engines, optimizing your routes, and probably, of course, improving the collaboration of your departments and decreasing the fuel oil consumption. If what we say, how can you improve or manage something if you can't even measure it? So now we have the ability to monitor continuously, real time, accurately, the parameters on board. Regarding the broadband, we consider the existing infrastructure satisfying. We can build value-adding for the industry solutions that we have measurable, tangible benefit for the industry. And I think this is very critical for the decision making.
Ingo?
Well, I think it's probably... Hello? Yeah. So, to kind of add some positivity and excitement about what's happening in the industry right now is that we are probably at a time where we have the most connected opportunities. There is so much innovation happening both on the platform side and on the connectivity side. So I see that we are now entering into an era where we really are going to see where we can utilize this. And as I said, we will have satellites, we will have different type of access connectivity in the ships, the same way that we have whether we are mobile users or we are at home. There will be a lot of connectivity alternatives.
Is that something that we're going to see sort of help the whole industry mature? Because we've been talking about disruption and change, we're talking about new business models for the industry. Do we see that, Ronald? I think I'll pick on you here because it's kind of, I'm going to close the panel in a minute. I want you to have the last word. But do you believe that Inmarsat is the enabler of a really disrupted maritime industry?
Definitely. So opening the door for any type of application, sensory information handling, and making sense out of all the data that is surrounding us, whether it's on board or whether it's onshore, that somewhere has the potential to disrupt the industry massively. We don't know which application will do that, but we are for sure that when that application arrives, it will run seamlessly over our network. So yeah, we consider ourselves the enabler of these type of things, even though we are not a software house.
Good. Ronald, thank you. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time on the panel today. Thank you.